hope so. Got some fire. I mean, mine's a limit. Man. 9-3 pixels. We're live. All right, welcome to Coudersport Field for today's action between the Lady Falcons and your Port Allegany Lady Gators. Gators come in with a record of 3-1, and they are 2-0 in the Northern Allegany League. The Lady Falcons are 1-1, coming off a victory over Gaelton. Get a quick look at today's lineups before we start. In the field for the Lady Falcons, on the mound, we have Hannah Flanagan. Behind the plate, Ella Wallers. First base, Claire Daisley. Second base, C.C. Davis. Third base, Laura Dunn. At shortstop, Lily Klinger. In left field, Kinder Billings. Alexis Sanderson will be patrolling center field. And Julissa Horn is in right field. Leading off for the Lady Gators will be pitcher number 1, Bria Wilcox. Flanagan looks in for the sign. And Flanagan's second pitch is high. We have a 1-1 count. Called strike. 1-2. Ball. 2-2. And Wilcox fouls that one off, and it's caught by Dunn at third base for the first out. Next up for the Lady Gators is catcher Maddie Eric. Eric squares the bunt. Does not make contact. That'll be strike 1. Squares again and lays one down right in front of the plate. Catcher pops out, and Wallers gets her at first. Wallers to Daisley for out number 2. Now up for the Lady Gators, Gianna Glasgow. Glasgow grounds one back to the pitcher. It gets by her. Dunn picks it up, and Glasgow's going to beat that out for an infield single. So Glasgow's at first, and up for the Lady Gators is going to be right fielder Elena McCurvey. McCurvey grounds that one back to the pitcher, and Flanagan fields it cleanly and gets her at first. So the Lady Gators go down with one hit in the top of the first, and they'll take the field as the Lady Falcons are due up to bat. Okay, and now we're back. Had a little technical correction we wanted to make, so hopefully we have a good stream now. Lady Gators are ready to go. Same lineup as the first 3 or 4 games, except Lily O'Rourke is getting her first career start at second base for the Lady Gators. Leading off for the Falcons is shortstop Lily Klinger. Wilcox's first pitch must have been a bit up. She looks a little confused by the location. Second pitch is a called strike. Ball high. We have a 2-1 count. Called strike 2. 2-2 count on Klinger. And swing and a miss. Wilcox gets a first strikeout of the game. And with one down, second baseman C.C. Davis up to bat. Pitch is a little low, catches the umpire. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Foul ball for strike 2. Got a 1-2 count. And a hard ground ball to second, and that gets through O'Rourke's legs. So the Falcons have their first base runner. Next up for the Lady Falcons is catcher Ella Wallers. First pitch is outside. Swing and a miss on second pitch to Wallers. Wilcox's pitch is high, 2-1 count. Just a bit high, 3-1 count. Foul ball, full count. And that pitch goes all the way to the backstop. And the Falcons will have 2 base runners. And third baseman Laura Dunn now up to bat. That ball gets past Eric, and the runners are going to advance on the wild pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. 1-1 count. Strike 2 called. Wilcox tries to get Dunn to chase there, but she does not. And we have a 2-2 count. And swing and miss for strike 3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Lady Falcons have runners on second and third, and pitcher Hannah Flanagan up to bat. And a swing and a miss from Flanagan. Ball 1 high. And Flanagan swings at the low pitch there, helps her out. We got a 1-2 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Just a bit outside. Deuce is wild. 2-2 count with 2 outs. And the ball gets by, but the runners do not advance. And we have a full count. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Wilcox gets out of the jam. Both teams strand runners in the first inning, but we'll head to the second with the score tied 0-0. And we're back for the top of the second. Leading off for the Lady Gators will be third baseman Brent Evans. And Evans grounds that one to short. Klinger comes up with it, and she's going to get her at first. Next for the Lady Gators will be second baseman Lily O'Rourke. She takes first pitch high. She grounds that one foul. Almost caught Coach McNeil there in the dugout. I'm sorry, that's Coach Daniels. That ball bounces in. We've got a 2-1 count. And another low pitch. Makes it 3-1. That pitch is right down the middle for strike 2. Full count on O'Rourke. And called strike 3. And up next for the Lady Gators is another lefty, Peyton Gordon. Gordon's last at bat, she went deep in Kane. And she takes a ball. Swing and a miss on that pitch. It makes it a 1-1 count with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Another swing and a miss. And strike 3 called. Gordon tried to dip under that one, but the umpire wasn't having anything to do with it. And the Gators go down 1-2-3 at the top of the second. We'll be back in 60 seconds. All right, leading off for the Lady Falcons will be first baseman Claire Daisley. First pitch is high. Ball 2. And Eric scoops up ball 3. Wilcox will try to come all the way back here with no outs on the bottom of the second. Called strike 1. Called strike 2. Full count on Daisley. And Wilcox comes all the way back. 3 called strikes for a strikeout. Up next for the Lady Falcons is center fielder Alexis Sanderson. First pitch is a bit high. Sanderson is wearing the gator-colored helmet. And the second pitch skips in and catches the umpire again. Ball 3. Once again, Wilcox is down 3-0 to the batter and will look to come all the way back. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And second pitch is popped up, and O'Rourke makes a play at second base for out number 2. And up for the Lady Falcons is right fielder Julissa Horn. And she takes a strike on the first pitch. Ball 1. Ball 2 is a little high. Strike 2 called. Got a 2-2 count here with 2 outs in the second inning. That pitch is fouled off, so we still have a 2-2 count. And horn goes down swinging for the third out. So all zeros here through 2. As Lady Gators will be back up for the top of the third, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Okay, leading off for the Lady Gators here in the top of the third will be center fielder Emily Eric. And she takes ball 1. And ball 2 skips off the plate. And Eric takes a strike. 2-1 count. And that pitch is high for a 3-1 count. And ball 4. So Gators have the leadoff runner on. And Sienna Lathrop will be up to bat. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Lathrop slaps that one down the third base line, but it's foul. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss on that one. And Wallers tries to catch Eric sleeping, but she gets back to first. So 1-2 count here. Lathrop takes ball 2. And Lathrop grounds Owen back to the pitcher. She'll take the out at first, and Eric will advance to second on the ground out. So Lady Gators will roll it back around to the top of the lineup with Bria Wilcox. That ball's low. Eric will not advance. Ball 2 bounces in. And And that pitch is low. Eric is going to take it, and she's going to get to third safe on the drop ball. 2-1 count on Wilcox. She'll take called strike 2. And Wilcox grounds that one to short. She's out. And Eric stays at third. And now up is Maddie Eric with her sister still at third. And swing and a miss for strike 1. And that pitch hits Eric. She'll take first base. And Glasgow will head to the plate. And looks like the Gators are going to courtesy run for Maddie Eric. And that's going to be Caitlin Callenborn coming into the game. So the Gators have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Gianna Glasgow up to bat. She takes the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. Glasgow is 4 for 5 in the Kane game. She'll foul off the second pitch. So quick 0-2 count here. And Glasgow stays alive with another foul ball. That pitch bounces in. So we got a 1-2 count here. Runners on the corners. Gianna digs in, looking to make contact. And swing and a miss. So the Gators leave a couple of runners on base again. And we'll head to the bottom of the third with the score still tied 0-0. And we're back for the bottom of the third with Kinder Billings leading off for the Lady Falcons. She squares around, but takes pitch high. Ball too high. Strike one called on the inside corner. 2-1 count. Strike two called. And a swing and a miss for out number one. And the Lady Falcons will go back to the top of the lineup with Klinger due up. Klinger struck out swinging in the first inning. Ball one. Swing and a miss for strike one. Klinger pops that one up foul. Back behind the backstop. So we got a 1-2 count with one out in the bottom of the third. Ball too high. 2-2 count. And strike three swinging. So Wilcox gets the first two batters on strikeouts. And Davis back up for the Lady Falcons. She reached on an error in the first inning. And she makes solid contact again. Wilcox knocks that one down and tries to throw her out from her knees, but unable to get that ball to first base. So Davis will reach again on an error. So runner on first, and next up for the Lady Falcons will be catcher Ella Wallers. Wallers walked in the first inning. We've got two outs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch is called a ball. That pitch gets through, and Davis takes second on the wild pitch. So 2-0 count here on Wallers. And another ball called on Wilcox. Doesn't sound like the Gators coaching staff knows where those balls are at. And ball 4 called. Wallers is going to take first on her second walk of the day. And next up will be third baseman Dunn. Dunn struck out swinging in the first inning. And she fouls off the first pitch. Ball 1 called. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Wilcox is up. Count of 1 and 2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. And once again, Wilcox strands a couple of runners as we're through 3 with a pitcher's duel here in Coudersport. Lady Gators and Lady Falcons tied 0-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. So it'll be McCurby leading off for the Lady Gators here in the top of the 4th. McCurby grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. Flanagan looks in for the sign. And the first pitch will hop back to the backstop. And that's a called strike as it gets past the catcher. Swing and a miss for strike 2. It's 1-2 count on McCurby. And she takes strike 3 low. Looks like the Lady Gators are struggling to figure out the strike zone here today. Evans takes a pitch off the ground for strike 1. That pitch is over her head. Ball 1. Ball 2 inside. Ball 3 rolls in, so 3-1 count for Evans. And Evans takes ball 4. And Lily O'Rourke will be up for the Lady Gators. She struck out looking in the first inning. That ball's low. Evans thinks about going, but she'll get back to first. Ball 2 low. Evans gets off the base, but she dives it back in. Ball 3. That one gets away from Wallers, but Evans stays put. And we have a 3-0 count here with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Flanagan looks in for the sign. And that pitch is ball 4. So the Lady Gators have runners on first and second with 1 out. And Peyton Gordon up. So Gordon digs in with 1 out. And the first pitch bounces in, ball 1. And ball 2 is outside. Ball 3. So 3-0 count with runners on first and second. Ooh, that pitch catches Gordon in the back. That'll load the bases for Emily Eric. And Coach Salters is going to call time and go out and talk to his infielders. So Emily Eric up with the bases loaded. She walked her first plate appearance. And looking to break through on the scoreboard here as we still have a 0-0 tie in the top of the 4th. And the first pitch hits Eric in the heel, and the Gators will score the first run of the game. And Sienna Lathrop will be up. She grounded out to the pitcher, her first at bat. That pitch gets away from Wallers, but the runners do not advance. And it's 1-0 count to Lathrop. Ball low, 2-0 count. Ball 3 gets to the backstop. The runners do not advance. And that's 11 straight balls for Flanagan. Strike one called. Lathrop gets a signal from Coach Barnett. And she takes ball 4 high. And with a 2-0 lead, the Gators will roll back around to the top of the lineup with Bria Wilcox. Wilcox is 0 for 2 and takes strike one. Wilcox grounds that one foul down third, so she's in an 0-2 hole here. As the Lady Gators try to add on to their 2-0 lead. Wilcox gets hit on the pitch, but the umpire couldn't see it. That'll be a third run for the Lady Gators, and looks like Darush is going to run for Wilcox. And Lady Falcons are going to make a pitching change here. Looks like Davis is going to come in to pitch, and Flanagan is going to go to second. Yep. Great. All right, so C.C. Davis is in the pitch for the Lady Falcons as the Gators still have the bases loaded with Maddie Eric up to bat. Maddie got hit by a pitcher last at bat and grounded out on a bunt attempt in the first inning. First pitch is ball 1 high. Strike one called. Eric hits that one, and Flanagan makes a nice play at second, and she doubles DeRouche off of first. So the Lady Falcons get out of it with the bases loaded, but the Gators do score 3 runs, and it's 3-0 heading to the bottom of the fourth. I don't know. So as we head to the bottom of the fourth, Lady Gators have taken a 3-0 lead, and Hannah Flanagan will lead off. Hannah struck out swinging her first at bat. She looks to bunt. She pops it back to the pitcher. Evans is going to play that, and Flanagan beats it out. Good speed there by Flanagan to beat out the bunt. And next up for the Lady Falcons will be first baseman Daisley. And that pitch gets by to the backstop, and Flanagan's going to take second. So 1-out count on Daisley. She takes strike one on the outside corner. That pitch bounces back to the backstop, and Flanagan's going to take third. So the Lady Falcons have a runner on third with a 2-1 count here in the bottom of the fourth. Daisley digs in. And swing and miss for strike two. Ball three's high, so full count on Daisley. And ball four on Daisley. So Lady Falcons have runners at the corners. And Sanderson up to bat. Sanderson popped out to the second baseman her first plate appearance. And Coach Daisley's going to go out, or I'm sorry, Coach Daniels is going to go out to have a conversation with Wilcox. So the Lady Falcons quickly have runners at the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the fourth as they trail 3-0 against the Lady Gators. First pitch is high, ball one. Sanderson squares around but fouls off that bunt. That pulls in Evans at third. She's looking for another bunt. Sanderson readies and takes ball 2 high. 2-1 count on Sanderson. Ball 3 gets to the backstop. Flanagan's coming, and she's going to be safe on the wild pitch. So the Lady Falcons are on the scoreboard, and that makes it 3-1. Now have a 3-1 count as Daisley advances to second. That one's popped foul. And we have a full count with no outs. Ooh. Ball 4 called. As Horn comes to the plate. That pitch gets through and the runners advance again. 1-0 count on Horn. Ball 2. Called strike. 2-1 count on Horn. That one's fouled off by Horn. 2-2 count. And strike 3 called. And Eric tries to pick off Daisley at third, but she gets back. Gators now have 1 out. As Billings is up to bat. Billings struck out swinging her first plate appearance. Ball high. Strike one. Ball gets past Eric, but the runners do not advance. Foul ball for strike two. 1-2 count on Billings. And she grounds that one to short. And that one's going to get by Glasgow. And Billings will be safe at first. That makes it 3-2. As Klinger comes back up with runners on first and third and one out. That one's lined down the third baseline, foul. So an 0-2 count here on Klinger. And that one's going to be fouled down the right field line. So Klinger's spraying it all over the place, but has yet to get it between the lines. Billings takes second on the ball. That's popped to shortstop. Nice play there by Glasgow. And Billings is able to get back, close to being doubled off. Looked like it was juggled a bit at second base. And Davis now up for the Lady Falcons. She's now into pitch. And she's reached base twice by an error. That one she fouls off out of play. And another foul ball out of play. And it looks like the Falcon dugout's trying to find some more balls here for us. So Wilcox has an 0-2 count here on Davis with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Gators clinging to a 1-run lead. Nice pitch there. Eric blocks. It's going to be ball 1, though. That one gets to the home plate, and Sanderson's going to score. So we now have a 2-2 count with 2 outs, and tie score 3-3 with a runner on third. Strike 3 called on the outside. So both teams score 3 runs in the fourth. So we head to the top of the fifth with a 3-3 tie ball game. Well, the wind's picking up here in the top of the fifth as Gianna Glasgow gets ready to lead off for the Lady Gators. Gianna is 1 for 2 today. Ball 1 low. Ball 2 inside. Glasgow with a swing and a miss there. 2-1 count. Ball 3 high. 3-1 count. And ball 4. Glasgow takes a walk to lead off the top of the fifth. Next up for the Lady Gators will be Elena McCurvey. She is 0 for 2 so far today. Going for the Lady Gators yet today, but they have been hot to start the season. And the first ball bounces in, and Gianna's going to take second. Ball 2 inside. Glasgow lays one down, and that just rolls foul. So 2-1 count. Strike 2 called, 2-2 count. And Glasgow pops that one out to right field. Horn makes a basket catch. And that'll be the first out for the Lady Gators. And coming to the plate for the Lady Gators will be third baseman Bryn Evans. Evans walked her last time up. Late swing there that she fouls off. That ball's inside, and Glasgow's going to take third. One count on Evans with one out here in the top of the fifth. Ball too high. Ball 3 high. 3-1 count on Evans. Evans pops that one up to shortstop. Klinger squeezes that. We got 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. And O'Rourke is up, looking to try to get this run in for the Gators, as Gianna's still at third base. O'Rourke walked her last time. Takes a called strike on the first pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Ball 1 outside. Lady Gators have been aggressive this year in the bases. I'm guessing Coach Barnett has instructed Gianna to try to get home if this ball gets past the catcher. That ball is outside as well, so we now have a 2-2 count. Ball 3 low, full count. And ball 4 high. So O'Rourke draws a walk. And Peyton Gordon will be coming to bat with runners on the corners. Gordon was hit by a pitcher last at bat. one gets past, and Glasgow's going to try to score. And nice play there by the catcher, but Glasgow's safe and heads up by O'Rourke. She comes all the way around from first to third on the pitch. So a 1-0 count here on Gordon as the Lady Gators retake the lead 4-3. Called strike on the outside corner. Gordon fouls that one off. Yes, for those concerned at home, I'm okay. Just got a little choked up there. Ball 2, 2-2 count. Ball 3 high, and O'Rourke's going to come in, and she's going to be safe. Second run of the inning on a wild pitch by the Gators. And now Gordon has a full count with 2 outs as the plate umpire will clean off home plate. Gordon popped that one up right back at us. Mr. McNeil doesn't move as he braves that ball. Ball 4. Been on base twice today with a walk and a hit by pitch. As the Lady Gators try to continue a little 2-out magic here. Eric hits the first pitch foul. She gets a little instruction from Coach McNeil and Coach Barnett and gets ready to step in with a 0-1 count. That's ball 1. And Gordon steals second. And that may be the Lady Gators' first successful slide of the season. So a 1-1 count here on Eric as Gordon is going to take the lead from second. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Eric hangs with a foul ball there. another foul ball as Waller saves the umpire. Ball too high. Ball 3, full count. And that pitch hits Eric again. So she's been hit by a pitch twice tonight. And Lady Gators now have runners on first and second with 2 out, with Sienna Lathrop up to bat. Lathrop also walked her last plate appearance. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Ball 2 outside. Gordon trying to draw a throw to second, but Wallers just gets it back to the pitcher. Called strike. 2-1 count on Lathrop. Lathrop pops that one to third. That's off the third baseman's glove. And Lathrop's going to get to first. So bases loaded on the error. And leadoff hitter Bria Wilcox will come up to play at bat. Bria was hit by a pitcher last at bat. Is 0 for 2 on the day. And trying to help herself out here with a 2-run lead. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Ball 1 high. Gordon trying to draw a throw from third. Ball 2 high. Again, Gordon getting a pretty big lead down the third base line. The base umpire looks like he's getting a little tired out there. And Wilcox goes down and gets that one, flies it to right field, but Horn pulls it in for the third out. Lady Gators, however, score 2 as they take a 5-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. And we're back. First pitch to Wallers is fouled off. So Wilcox has a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the fifth with the 3-4-5 hitters due up for the Lady Falcons. Wallers grounds that one to third. That ricochets off Evans to Glasgow, but unable to make the play. And Laura Dunn up. She's struck out twice so far today. And we got a courtesy runner going here for the Lady Falcons. So once again, runner on first, no outs with Dunn up. Strike one called. And they had the courtesy runner off the base there, but unable to get her. She gets back to first safely. So 0-1 count on Dunn. And she fouls off the second pitch, 0-2. And the third one's popped up to second. O'Rourke snags that one. Thinks about trying to catch the runner off first, but gets it back to Wilcox. And we have one out with Flanagan coming to the plate. Flanagan advanced on a bunt last at bat, and she fouls that pitch off. Ball one outside. Ball two gets past Eric, and the runner's going to advance to second. Two 2-1 count on Flanagan. That one bounces in, but Eric's able to snag it. So a 3-1 count on Flanagan. That one's popped up towards first base, and it's going to be out of play. So full count here with one out. And Flanagan swings at a high ball and helps out the Gators. So 2 outs. That is the first player I've heard complain about today's temperatures, although everyone knows that I'm freezing. Pretty sure we're in the low 30s wind chill here today as the sun has gone down and it's overcast. And Daisley up and fouls the first one off. Daisley is struck out and walked in her 2 plate appearances. And foul number 2. 0-2 count. Lady Falcons still have a runner on second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. That one gets past Eric. The runner's going. And she's going to be safe. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Wilcox gets out of it. And the Lady Gators take a 5-3 lead to the top of the 6th. We'll be back in 60 seconds. So we're back for the top of the 6th. Lady Falcons have made a couple of defensive substitutions. Sounds like catcher Ella Wallers was injured in her last plate appearance. So they've moved Laura Dunn back to catcher, and Sage Fox has entered the game at third base. She'll be batting in Ella Waller's spot. Lady Gators will have Maddie Eric leading off here in the top of the 6th with a 5-3 lead. Wind. Eric is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, and she takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Second pitch goes behind Eric for ball 1. Eric lines that one to second base. Flanagan with a clean play and gets it over to Daisley for out number 1. Next up for the Gators is Gianna Glasgow. Gianna is 1 for 2 with a walk and takes the first pitch high. Ball too low. Ball 3. And ball 4. So Gianna walks to give the Gators their first base runner here in the top of the 6th. And Elena McCurvey will be up. Elena is 0 for 3 today. Looking to break out. First pitch is over her head. Ball 1. Kirby gets that one. That's popped to short. And Klinger squeezes that for out number 2. And Evans will now be up with 2 outs here. Evans is 0 for 2, which popped out to shortstop herself the last at bat. And that pitch gets back to the backstop. Gianna's going to take second. So a big insurance run at second base for the Lady Gators as Evans digs in with a 1-0 count. That ball also gets to the backstop as it goes behind Evans. And Gianna is now at third with a 2-0 count and two outs here in the top of the top of the 6th. Ball 3 outside. And called strike on the inside corner. Evans fouls that one out. Full count now. And that pitch almost hits Evans for ball 4. So her second walk of the game as she takes first. Runners at the corners for Lily O'Rourke. 2 outs here. That ball's high, and Evans steals second. So now runners at second and third for O'Rourke with a 1-0 count. Strike called from the opposing batter's box, apparently. O'Rourke fouls that one off. Got a 1-2 count now with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Ball too high. Ball 3, which looked to be in the same location as strike 2, but full count here for O'Rourke. And O'Rourke swings and misses for strike 3. So Lady Falcons get out of the jam, and we head to the bottom of the 6th with Lady Gators clinging to a 5-3 lead. All right, Sanderson leaves off the bottom of the 6th and takes ball 1. Strike 1 called. Sanderson fouls that one off. 1-2 count. And strike 3 swinging. Wilcox gets the first out. Next up will be right fielder Horn. Horn is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. First pitch is low, ball 1. Strike 1 called. Strike 2 called. And that one's grounded to second base. O'Rourke's on it. Over to Gordon for out number 2. Horn took a roundabout route to first base there. She was halfway to the dugout. I think that hit stung her hands a little bit. So 2 outs here for the Lady Gators as Billings digs in. And swing and a miss on strike one. Just a bit outside for ball one. Foul ball. Billings goes down to get that one. One-two count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. And that pitch is just a bit high. So Wilcox has a 2-2 count. And swing and a miss for Billings as Wilcox goes 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Gators. And they'll try to look for some insurance runs here as we head to the seventh. So we're back for the top of the seventh. Lady Falcons have re-entered Flanagan to pitcher, with Davis going back to second base. As the Lady Gators bring up the bottom of the lineup with Peyton Gordon leading off. First pitch is wide for ball one. Gordon hits one about 4 feet. Flanagan is on it, and she gets it to Daisley for the first out. Next up is Emily Eric, who's been on base all 3 appearances today with a walk and 2 hit by pitches. And she takes strike for ball, or first pitch for strike one. Strike two called on the outside corner. And swing and miss for strike three. So 2 outs here for the Gators as Sienna Lathrop comes up to try to get a little 2-out lightning going. Ball one outside. Ball two. Ball three outside. 3-0 count for Lathrop. Strike one called. And ball four, as Lathrop will be the first runner this inning for the Lady Gators. She's going to round first as Dunn chases her down, but she heads back. And Bria Wilcox will come to the plate. Wilcox is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. That's a late swing as Lathrop steals second, and she's going to take third on the overthrow. So we now have a runner on third with an 0-1 count on Wilcox. Wilcox digs in, trying to help herself here with an insurance run. And another swing and a miss. Wilcox goes down and gets that, and it's a foul ball. So she digs back in with an 0-2 count here. Ball one. That one gets past the catcher on a swing and miss, and that hits Wilcox as she's running to first, and Lathrop is going to score on the play. So an adventurous strike three there, but the Gators get a run as Wilcox reaches base on the pass ball, and Jerush is going to be a courtesy runner here for Wilcox. So Darush now at first as the Gators pick up an insurance run, and Maddie Eric up to bat. That ball bounces in, and Darush is going to take second. The pitch is high. Dunn knocks it down and keeps Darush at second. Eric digs in. Flanagan's pitching fast here. She gets her sign and she's ready to go. That ball bounces, hits the umpire. Catcher can't find it as Darush takes third. And Maddie now has a 3-0 count on her with Darush on third and 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that pitch hits Eric, so she'll take first. And Gianna will be up for the Lady Gators. Gianna's walked her last 2 times at bat. Called strike as Maddie steals second. Ball one. So Glasgow has a couple of runners on base here as the Gators look to extend their lead. Strike two on a swing and a miss. That one rolls to the backstop, and Darush is going to come in, and she's going to score as Maddie Eric takes third. 2-2 count on Glasgow. And swing and a miss, but the Gators do pick up a couple of more runs. They take a 7-3 lead to the bottom of the seventh. Lady Falcons will have the top of the lineup up. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Now here we go, bottom of the seventh. Lady Falcons have Lily Klinger, leadoff batter up, with the Lady Gators holding a 7-3 lead. Wilcox readies, and first pitch is a ball. Klinger is 0 for 3 today. And a swing and a miss for strike one. That one's popped up down the right field line, and it's going to be out of play as Gordon tried to chase it down, but it was just out of her reach. So Wilcox has a 1-2 count here on Klinger. And she tried to get her chase there, but Klinger lays off for ball two. And ball three. Full count here on Lily Klinger. And Klinger swings and misses. Eric will chase her back to the dugout as that pitch hit the dirt. And that'll be out number one for the Lady Gators. I believe, let me check the stats quickly here. I think that's the 15th strikeout for Wilcox. And that pitch is lined back to Wilcox. She chases it down and gets it to Gordon for out number 2. So I have Wilcox with 15 strikeouts, 4 walks today with 1 hitter. And that's a called strike on Fox. This is Fox's first time up to bat since she entered the game for Wallers. Strike 2 on a swing and miss for Fox. So Wilcox has Lady Falcons in a big hole here. And a swing and a miss. So Wilcox closes out with her 16th strikeout of the game. Lady Gators take the big league win with a 7-3 final. And we're going to see if we can get an interview here with Bria Wilcox after the teams shake hands. All right, we're here with Bria Wilcox, who just threw a 1-hitter for the Lady Gators. 16 strikeouts, 4 walks. So great game on the mound. What do you how do you think today went?
I think everything went pretty good. I mean, could have hit better, but our defense played well, and I think we all communicated good. And yeah, we just came out with a win.
Okay, great. Well, the Lady Gators are now 3-0 in the league. So freshman year, obviously, your first 3 wins in the league. How's that feel?
Really good. It's a good outcome. Like what we're doing, and we want to keep winning more.
All right. What do you have to work on as we move forward?
Definitely hitting more. Throwing it in there. We gotta play defense well, and just overall play good as a team and communicate.
All right. Well, great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, folks. We'll be back in action on Friday night from Gailton. And we'll try to have a broadcast for you. I'm not sure about cell service in Gailton, but we'll give it a try. Thank you and good night.